Stricter COVID regulations have led to the cancellation of Byron Bay's Blues Fest this weekend, but Four Winds Festival on the New South Wales South Coast was not affected. The music and arts event follows a year of stress, uncertainty and upheaval caused by floods, bushfires and of course COVID. Let's cross live now to Lindy Hume, Creative Director of Four Winds Festival. Lindy, what great news at Easter time this is.
Fantastic. That news from Byron Bay sends a chill down the spine of any festival director, I can tell you.
Well, tell us about the festival. I've had a good read at it. It really does offer so much to a whole range of tastes.
Yeah, it's an incredibly diverse program. In fact, we opened yesterday with a big free opening event that celebrated the Yuin culture, the Aboriginal culture of this place, and local artists. And then we went straight to the opening night of the Iliad Out Loud, our first adventure into theatre on the Four Winds stage. And then today we go into more sort of classical music programming, but we've also got some country music from the New Graces, who are a local band, ARIA award-winning local band, and then gorgeous dance with Sydney Dance Company on stage at the Four Winds Amphitheatre.
Have you found a real appetite for Australians to get to a festival like this?
Yeah, absolutely. People are just loving driving to a beautiful place and being able to experience all the amazing things that the region has to offer, the gorgeous scenery here in Bermagui, but also the food, and then just being together in this beautiful amphitheatre down at Bermagui Bay, which is surrounded by gum trees, and you can hear the ocean on a still day. It's just a gorgeous place to listen to music, and people just like being together and reconnecting. In fact, the whole festival we've kind of called Reconnect for that exact reason, because this region has really taken a hit over the last year. It's one of the most affected regions in relation to the bushfires and also COVID, and recently had a little bit of the effects of the flood. So it's a tough time for this region, and we all need to get back together again and share music and art, and that's what we're doing here.
Oh, absolutely. It has been absolutely brutal down there, and I'm sure the locals have a smile on their face, and the weather over your shoulder looking so lovely, and it's expected to stay that way.
We're so lucky. In fact, it starts raining on Monday, and you know what? I don't care. As long as it stays beautiful for the whole weekend and everyone can have a wonderful time. So yeah, we're really looking forward to a beautiful day out there on the sound shell at Four Winds. And everybody yesterday was just completely blissed out by just sitting in the sunshine, listening to music.
It's understandable that you've been a bit jumpy. I think every time anyone sees something, we saw the little outbreak in Queensland. Thankfully, the lockdown happened, reopened, and we've done okay. But every time a moment like that happens, it becomes very nervous for everybody, doesn't it? Because you've got people coming in and out. Can I get home?
Absolutely, and we made the decision to kind of limit the artist pool from it. So there are a lot of New South Wales artists, a few coming in, like Leor is coming in from Victoria yesterday, and so there's a few people just flying in, but it's mostly New South Wales artists. Yeah, I've just done the 10 days on the Island Festival in Tasmania as well, and we were every single day you just tick off thinking, okay, we made it through this time. So our hearts really do go out to those people who haven't been able to have their festival.
Is there still availability for people to get a part of the festival if they're thinking, oh, I wouldn't mind going for a drive today?
Absolutely. The tricky thing is accommodation. So check for accommodation, but there are lots of seats. It's an amphitheatre in the open air. We can have about 3,000 people there. Now that we can have 100% occupancy at the theatre, but yeah. So there's lots of space on the grass. It's a beautiful place to be. So if you're a local, if you're from the area, just pop on down to the sound shell at Bermagui Bay. I think you kind of need to be here because the accommodation is pretty much full.
Yeah, which is a nice sign. It hasn't been that way for a long time. I'm sure the locals are loving that.
It's a great sign.
What do we got these next couple of days?
So, as I say, Sydney Dance Company today, the Goldner Quartet, the New Graces, and then, of course, Iliad, the theatre's on every night. It's a 9-hour theatre epic over 3 nights. Tomorrow we have Lior and Nigel Westlake's beautiful work, Compassion, which is an oratorio in both Hebrew and Arabic. It's literally about compassion. It's a call to people to be their better selves, to come together as human beings. And that's kind of what the festival is too. In the morning, more chamber music. It really is chamber music heaven. 4 Winds is perfect acoustic, and we have technicians here from the Sydney Opera House come down every year to make this the most beautiful sound possible for music making. So yeah, theatre, dance, oratorio, classical chamber music, baroque music, country and western. Yeah, it's kind of everything you possibly want. There's films being played in the Windsong Pavilion just up the hill. Sydney Dance Company and this beautiful local choir, the Jinima Yiliga Choir, have made 3 films during the lockdown, which we're showing. Yeah, so there's a range of things, artist talks, or you can just come and enjoy the site. There's brilliant homemade pizza, great local wine and produce. Get a really good coffee at the 4 Winds site, I'm glad to say.
Sounds absolutely fantastic to me. Everything's been a bit too real recently. There's nothing quite like the escape of the arts, and it sounds like it's all happening in Bermagui, and all the fresh produce. You're making me hungry. All the best for the next few days. Thanks so much for coming on the show, and all the best for the rest of the festival.
Pleasure, thanks.